What is wrong with me? These words have been a frequent visitor in my brain. Not while I was drinking. While I was drinking, I was too busy being fine, fabulous, and funny. But when I got sober, I started to hear these words clearly. What is wrong with me? So this afternoon, I'm going to tell you what I found out. When I was 50, I went to a talk by social commentator and academic Angelo Fick. He spoke about the Nile Basin, how the Aswan Dam had stemmed the flow of the river, how the swale, the winds, the very breath of the land had changed. And somehow, I left that talk crying. I was confused. I thought I was having a breakdown. Because while Fick's talk was heavy, it wasn't that heavy. There wasn't anything that my battered heart and soul couldn't handle. I hadn't cried in years. In fact, tears were such a rare occurrence that my children just wanted to be there when it happened. Not necessarily to provide comfort, but to bear witness. Like, quick, grab the popcorn, mom's crying. So why was I crying? I had this overwhelming sense of underachievement. I saw my potential in Angelo Fick, a man with wisdom and insight, empathy and love, doing great things. And there I was, doing none of those things. So let me give you a little bit of context. My CV is 12 pages long. I could publish it as a research paper. The last interview I went to, the interviewer said, the printer just kept printing, and I didn't know when it was going to stop. And the things on there, I've done so many different things. I was even a bunny girl once. Don't ask. But the real kicker is all the unpaid, passion-driven, non-profit jobs equal the number of paid jobs that I've had. Do you know the saying, follow your passion and not your pension? Here I am. Whole lot of passion, no pension. I'm hanging my hopes and delusions on comedy, folks. And I never got a qualification. No laminated piece of paper to tell anybody that I was capable of anything. I was really good at making bad decisions. And for years, after every job, I'd carry the same feedback. Chantal, you could be so great at this if only you would learn to focus. Well, duh. I started drinking properly in my early 20s, back in the day before bottle stores were open on a Sunday. Alcohol was my support group, my friend in a bottle, the toxic bestie who got me through my life, my marriage, my divorce, the revolving doors of job hopping. And when I became a single mom and was battling to make ends meet, I'd make sure I had 20 Rand every single day for my liter of red wine. Nothing seemed to be a problem, but underneath it all, everything really was. After years of trying to stop drinking, it all came to a head in 2009. I'd gone on a bender. I was drunk every day for a week. And I woke up on a Monday morning, reeking like a dive bar on a Saturday night. And I was an hour late for an important appointment with a new client. I stumbled into the bathroom, looked at myself in the mirror and said, fuck this shit. Things have got to change. I phoned my mom. I left some cryptic, cringy messages on my Facebook, and I went to see my doctor. I think I must stop drinking, I said to him. Please book me into rehab. So the 5th of March this year marks the day 17 years ago I drove into rehab. The wind was blowing through my hair. My sunnies were on. I had a triple Bloody Mary at hand. I downed my drink, waltzed inside, and that is the last time I've ever had alcohol. I was finally doing what my mother had been telling me to do for years. I was finally doing what my mother had been telling me to do for years. So what did I leave rehab with? I left rehab with scripts for antidepressants and antabooze. Was I depressed? I don't think so. I was relentlessly fine, fabulous, and funny. And I really wasn't ever very sad. I was generally quite happy. I also left motivated, inspired, full of new ideas. And I was committed to doing the work of not drinking. I journaled, I reflected, I dug deep. I had a notebook dedicated to each one of those things. But surprisingly, my life did improve, but it didn't improve that much. I was still beset by delusional thinking. I was still making bad decisions based on a whim. I was still lying awake, cataloging my failures. I was still wondering what was fundamentally, unfixably wrong with me. This is the thing they don't tell you. Sobriety doesn't answer the question. It just makes you sober enough to keep on asking. The answer came from an unexpected place. I was having a coffee with my daughter's counselor, a meeting that wasn't even about me. I was oversharing, as one does, because I was feeling miserable, dissatisfied, and depressed. And she said to me, "You've probably got ADHD, Chantal." My immediate response, "Don't be ridiculous. I don't have ADHD. I'm just really good at making bad decisions." But the thought lodged itself. We hold neurotypical up as the golden standard. And then we look at our lives and we go, "Damn it, I hate my job. I'm going to look for a new one." We compare ourselves to the standard, this rule that governs everybody else's brains except ours. And we'll go, "Oh shit, there's something wrong with me." So instead of treating it as a suggestion it should be, we become more miserable, dissatisfied, and depressed, trying to conform to this rule. Slowly, through research, recognition, and frankly, an abundance of time scrolling through TikTok, I began to see myself clearly. The impulsivity, the masking, the exhaustion of being fine. The fact that alcohol was doing the work that my brain didn't want to do alone. The grief of Angelo Fick's talk started making sense. I wasn't underachieving because I was broken. I was underachieving because I didn't know how my brain worked. My soul soared. And the words, "What is wrong with me?" started dissipating amidst the influx of new information I was getting. I spent a lot of time going, "Oh my gosh, that's how it works." And the conversations I was having with myself became kinder and more compassionate. Now, I haven't been diagnosed officially, and I probably won't ever be. But you know what? This is all making the puzzle pieces fit together. I still make bad decisions, but a lot fewer. And I still experience the impulse to run for the hills, but I stay. Getting sober saved my life, but understanding myself has given me permission to live it. So maybe the question to ask yourself is not what is wrong with me. Maybe it's what have I yet to discover about myself. Thank you.